Hello and welcome to Big Orbit's Cardfight Vanguard weekly update. My name is James and today I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the past 7 days. Starting off big, we have No Life King Death Anchor, the VR for Dark Irregulars. His first ability is Auto Vanguard Circle when placed, Soul Charge 1, and this unit gets plus 2000 power until the end of the turn for every card in your soul. So naturally he gets very big very quickly. But he also has Auto Vanguard Circle at the end of the battle that it attacked. If you have 30 or more in your soul, cost count +1 and put a card from your hand and 3 of your rear guards into your soul. Write a card from your soul as stand, and it gets +1 critical to the end of turn. So you do lose 3 units, but you get another twin drive and an additional gift, so you don't lose much out of it. And you can ride back into Death Anchor through his own skill, or even Demon Eater if you're trying to finish the game. This becomes ridiculous in premium thanks to the Enigmatic Assassin, which will just let you constantly re-ride this card in one turn, as Enigmatic Assassin comes out of the soul when you attack. To help get to the soul goal, we do have the grade 2 Werwolf Sieger. His first is continuous Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle during your turn. If you have 5 or more cards in your soul, it gets 5000 power, making a strong, consistent 14k attacker. To speed up the soul charging, he has Auto Vanguard Circle. When it attacks a Vanguard, Soul Charge 2. It seems this will be the optimal ride for the whole deck. It is unlikely you will be getting 13 soul on your first grade 3 ride, but with this card you will probably get it on the second turn of being on grade 3. Finally, for Dark Regulars, there is Prisoner Beast. Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When placed, you may Soul Charge 1, yet again ramping up the soul. And it also has, if you have 5 or more cards in your soul, this unit gets plus 2000 power. So boosting Werwolf Sieger, the column will be at 24,000 power, which for a Protect clan, having a passive buff like that will really help them finish the game sooner than the other Protect clans. For Murakumo, we have Stealth Beast, Bloody Mist. He's a grade 2 with Act Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. If you do not have another Bloody Mist on Rearguard Circle, counterblast 1 and search your deck for a Bloody Mist, quality Rearguard Circle, and it gets minus 4000 power until the end of the turn. It's slow to get to the full power, but does help fill up the ranks for a pre-cost. There is also the grade 1 counterpart to this with Stealth Beast Million Rat, who brings out more Million Rats with minus 4k power, but will likely see more play than Bloody Mist. Stealth Rogue of Silence Shiji Mamaru is another grade 1 with Auto Rearguard Circle. When it boosts, 2 of your units with the same name as the boosted unit get plus 3000 power until the end of turn. The fact that this gives plus 6000 power for free each turn is really good value, and fits nicely into the Mandala playstyle. Murakumo also get another grade 2 with Stealth Dragon Imitation Mandala. His first skill is continuous Rearguard Circle and deck. Change the card name of this card to Covert Demonic Dragon Mandala Lord. This is great for powering up and superior calling purposes, allowing Mandala Lord to bring out interceptors by cloning himself. And the second ability is continuous Rearguard Circle. If you have 3 or more Covert Demonic Dragon Mandala Lord on Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle, in total, this unit gets boost. With this card, Mandala Lord himself and Turbulent Edge, it's going to be really easy to fulfill this condition, and you can also nicely power up all the units on your field to plus 6k with Mandala Lord and Turbulent Edge. The long-awaited Phantom Blaster Dragon is here this week, bringing the first skill of Act Vanguard Circle, cost counterblast 1 and retire 3 of your rear guards. Your opponent chooses 3 of his or her rear guards and retires them. This unit gets plus 15,000 power and plus 1 critical to the end of turn. Retiring 3 isn't too much of a heavy cost when you consider how much superior calling Shadow Paladin do. This also semi-bypasses Promised Daughter, as you have to choose all of the targets at the same time, meaning you can't just choose one Promised Daughter over and over again for the same skill. Phantom Blaster Dragon's second skill is Act Vanguard Circle once per turn. If your opponent has no rear guards and 4 less cards in his or her damage zone, cost Soul Blast 1 grade 3 and deal 1 damage to your opponent's Vanguard. As the first skill can be used multiple times, you can use it twice to make your opponent retire more units, though you should be able to empty the field with this and things like Blast the Dark. All in all, it's a pretty strong card. I don't think it's broken, but I think it's strong enough to give Shadow Paladin the pressure they needed. And they should be doing pretty well in tournaments, but we'll have to see. We're getting more news on that after next week when this set is released in Japan. Cursed Lancer is a grade 2 with continuous. When this card would be called from hand, it must be called to Rearguard Circle with a unit. This is quite an awkward restriction. It means he has to be called on top of another unit. He does have Auto Rearguard Circle when placed, costs Soul Blast 1. This unit gets plus 10,000 power until the end of turn. If your damage zone has no face-up cards, countercharge 1. Seeing as PPD is only counter plus 1, this can be seen as skill for skill, but his conditions will probably stop him from being played as a 4-off. Finally, for the AL4 cards this week, we have Pale Moon's Grade 2, Nitro Juggler. His skill is Auto Vanguard Circle, Rearguard Circle. When placed from hand, look at the 2 cards from the top of your deck, put 1 into your soul, and put 1 onto the bottom of the deck. Selective soul charging has always been good for Pale Moon, preventing you from just soul charging all the triggers, and I can see this easily being used as a 3 or 4 on. Fairly simple skill, but helps set up the deck nicely. That's the end of AL4 for this week, but we do have news on new sets. The first set to talk about is V Extra Booster 4, The Answer of Truth. The English release date is January the 18th, and it contains the 3 clans Great Nature, Gear Chronicle, and Genesis. The featured clans are School Hunter Leopold for Great Nature, Interdimensional Dragon Knight Lost Legend, a new unit for Gear Chronicle, and Oracle Guardian Himiko for Genesis. We have been shown the skill of Lost Legend, but not the rarity. Though we can guess from the fact that he's on the banner that it will most likely be a VR. Act Vanguard Circle cost, choose 1 or more cards with the sum of their grades being 3 or greater from your hand and discard them. Search your deck for up to 1 grade 4, ride it as stand, shuffle your deck, and at the end of the turn retire that unit and ride a grade 3 from your soul at rest. This is a pseudo stride. Although they wanted to stay away from stride, this is a lot clunkier as the grade 4s now go in the main deck. It's still worrying as the Gear Chronicle player can get 2 force markers in 1 turn, rewrite at the end of your turn. We will have to see what the grade 4s do before we judge this card's true worth. He does have a second skill though of Auto Vanguard Circle when rode upon, cost counterblast 2 and draw a card. This seems like a very steep cost, but with such little information about the clan, we may see that very good at countercharging. We have the Japanese schedule for future releases up to March. In November, VEBO 4 comes out for them, as well as 2 trial decks, 1 for Oracle Think Tank and 1 for Narukami. Due to this, we will likely be seeing the trial decks later in January. In December, the 3rd booster set comes out. It will contain Royal Paladin, Oracle Think Tank, Gold Paladin, Narukami, and Nupatama. It will be interesting to see what they do with the VRs, as before every clan in the set has gotten one, but they may give one to every clan excluding Royal Paladin, as Royals will have already had 2 VRs by then. In January, the 7th trial deck comes out. This one will be for Link Joker, and the 4th booster set comes out. On the same porting Link Joker, Shadow Paladin, Pale Moon, and Murakumo. Then, in February, a Bermuda Triangle deck will be released, and in March, an extra booster purely for Bermuda Triangle will be coming out. The last bit of news for this week is the English release of VEBO 2 will contain a misprinted card. Dimensional Robo Dilander has incorrect and has instead been turned into some kind of magical girl rather than the robot quad bike it was before. This will be corrected in the future, where the box topper of VEBO 3 will contain a copy of Dilander with its correct artwork. So if you really don't like the new artwork, you will still be able to get the normal artwork of it. And that is everything for this week. Feel free to leave your feedback on the new cards and the sets in the comments section below, and let me know your thoughts on the new Phantom Blaster Dragon. Be sure to check out next week when I'll be going through the cards shown throughout the next 7 days, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!